Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3.
Welcome, everyone, to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party. I'm your host, Philip Gilfus, joined by my other co-hosts, Darren Moser and Daniel Prue. Gentlemen, how's your Star Trek Shocktober going?
Shrackstober? Is that, that what it is now?
Yeah,
No.
don't ask about it, why it's back.
It's we're in that strange. It's weird, guys. There wasn't a new Star Trek episode this week. We're back in the void between seasons, but I don't think it's going to last that long.
No, people
Prodigy
probably
starting
watching. Yep.
in just a week or so at this time of recording.
We did get to experience the old to be continued.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay,
Of course,
like
we'll talk about
I
later,
have
I'm sure,
seen
but-
one or two people say, because it's like a year we're going to be waiting, that it's a bigger gut punch than waiting for what happens to Picard at the end of season 3 of Next Gen. I'm like, is it though? Like that's a really hard thing to come up against, but we'll see. Is Freeman going to stay in chains forever?
I think she'll be okay.
I think she'll
have
be
a
okay.
feeling.
I think she'll be okay. We'll have a breakout scene with cetacean ops. They'll bust through the wall, but it'll flood because their side is full of water. Because that'd be hilarious.
They'll get assigned a new captain, their own new Jellicoe. It'll be great.
It's just Jellicoe in a head jar, Futurama style.
Unless their new captain's waiting on Vulcan, because I hear Vulcan just has a bunch of waiting captains over there.
So you say, Darren, that it's the first week without new Star Trek, but I was actually on an away mission for I think like 10 days. So I actually, when I came back, I had 2 episodes of Star Trek waiting for me. So it feels like very fresh to me. But you're right. I guess technically we don't have new stuff until what is Prodigy, the 28th or something like that?
Yep. Yeah. By the time they're listening, they'll be
Now is the time to renew your all
Paramount
access.
Plus.
No, I'm sticking with all access. No, you're
You're the only one, Darren. You're the only one.
And then you can binge.
Stop trying to make
season
Paramount
2
Plus happen.
right now. Yeah, Google Plus is turning its grave. Okay, it was there first. It was there first, and you stand where it stood.
So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I have definitely seen in just my day-to-day life a push or like a ramp up to the Prodigy marketing. It's
It's getting marketed
a whole bunch.
heavily.
I went to see, I was telling these guys earlier, saw Dune in a theater a couple days ago. There was a Prodigy trailer.
Wow.
In the movie theater.
So that's good. I mean, that's nice. It's nice to see some Star Trek, and the show looks very pretty. Every time I see it, I'm like, wow, that's nice. And we'll see how it goes, but it'll be fun either way. It'll be fun to see Janeway and see where it goes. But we'll find out next week. You guys can listen. We'll talk about it next week. So.
Yep, I'll be going la 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 la. All right. Well, let's talk Star Trek Lower Decks. Just ended its 2nd season out. We hadn't talked about the last 2 episodes, Wage Douche and First Contact, which were both pretty epic, if I'm allowed to use that word, episodes.
episodic.
So well, let's just start with the 2. Anything that pops out. Darren, I think you had a lot to say about the 3 ships as the Federation standard translation goes. But what do you think of the last 2 episodes? Anything that popped out?
Oh yeah, I mean, Wage Douche was great. I mean, I didn't know I needed more lower decks from other species, but I'm totally here for it. And I honestly feel the writing for the Vulcan segment was the best Vulcan writing I've seen in a long. Vulcan writing is very, very hard, and it's like they're yelling in Vulcan, which is really hard to communicate because they don't actually yell, but they did it, and it worked so well. And I'm really hoping we see her. I'm pretty sure she's going to end up on the Cerritos, like they're laying the groundwork. And I loved the use of the Klingon ensign into showing not only that story, but how that affected, the Pakled plot and all of that. So overall, I love this episode. It was very well done. I mean, like I just said, I didn't know I needed a Lower Decks Klingon and a Lower Decks Vulcan show, but I really, and then what was it? The Pakled cutscene.
Oh yeah, the Pakled ship, Pakled.
Yeah, and the Borg cube.
Oh god, I love that. That was like the cherry on top. The last minute.
This was Lower Decks like firing on all cylinders. It's just the right amount of reference, just the right amount of new material, and I was totally fine spending a little bit of time away from our characters. Like I didn't feel they get they didn't get the short stick, but I love seeing all these other. I'm trying to even remember what the main plot was for our characters because this is what was so memorable. But yeah, that was my impression of that. But what about you guys?
What about you, Daniel? What'd you think of?
Yeah, well, first, I'd just like to echo what Darren said about the Vulcan stuff. I thought it was really, really good when he's like, these outbursts have to stop.
All the eyebrow raises. So many eyebrows.
It was good. In fact, I do agree with you that it was a strong ending to the season. Both the second to last and the last episode were, I thought, really strong.
Computer, what is the word for second to last episode?
Oh yes,
penultimate
and the ultimate, whatever. Yeah.
And the ultimate. Yes.
That is it. That is it, Daniel. You got it right.
I thought they were solid. I did like the Klingon, even the Klingon bits and the Vulcan bits. Of course, we get to see, and this is some of the stuff Lower Decks does that I do like, the referencing that they do. We get to see Captain Gomez, which was nice, voiced by the same actress who was in that episode of TNG at season 3. I can't remember which episode.
So she was in 2.
Season 2. Because
the second one was the Samaritan Snare, which is where we were introduced to the Pakled. So I was expecting us to get more Pakled time because she's like, I remember these, crazies. That was what it was. I had to look it up again. It was the we're from Hawaii bit.
Yeah, just like
and then then that falls away and it's the we're actually all from moons bit, which was just, which kept making me think of like Riker and being from
Canada,
Alaska.
Yeah.
But
my mom was their grandmother was Canadian.
I did like that they referenced the moon stuff on Earth's moon, which was nice.
Like Tycho
City, and so that was nice because I'd love to see that sometime in Star Trek, like something that takes place on the moon. That'd be like to see how cool it is. But
so, like where you live, Darren, is that the moon of LA? Like, are you gonna?
Yes, all suburbs are moons around the greater LA. That is very true.
It was so obviously what they were trying to build with that episode was like you mentioned, Darren, was like the lower decks of other of the other species,
the Lower Decks universe growing even bigger.
The LDCU,
one mop bucket at a time on one ship.
But our Klingon character got a serious promotion in that small episode. So, which is cool. I mean, we've heard all about this sort of stuff. And I feel like compared to I just kind of liked the Vulcan stuff a little bit better, just because we've seen all this Klingon stuff before, but I was rooting for him. And I'm like, yeah, this guy kind of, he knows what he's doing. So,
walk my targ.
So I had the same thought as you, Darren, where I was like, Are we gonna see these characters as Lower Deck characters in season 3, like on the Cerritos? Like, there's definitely a good chance that the Vulcan will show up.
I don't think we're gonna see the Klingon on the Cerritos, but I think the show creator has said that we will see more of his story. Yeah. But obviously, like probably not as much as we saw in that episode. Like, obviously, that's furthering the plot of season 2. Yeah. But I'd be up, for more of them. I mean, we need more Borg ensign action. I also like how the Klingon captain was Captain Dorf, which just sounds like you're setting up. Well, yeah, it's like you're setting up a role, an RPG, and you're like, well, we can't say Worf, but he's the best Klingon, so let's just go with Dorf.
All right. Well, what about we've made some mentions about the last episode. I mean, of course, let's just go ahead and say it. Citation ops.
Yes.
That was good too. Like, so here's the thing, and we've brought
The
this up
highly
before.
sexual of all things.
Bringing those sweaty shoulders down here. I already said that.
So, this is just further proof that Mike McMahon listens to our show. We reference citation ops.
Yes, I'm sure we're the only Star Wars show that references.
You put it all together, Darren. It's not just, but yeah, no, of course. I really, really liked the finale. I like when Lower Decks is telling its own story and it's not just relying on references and stuff. Like when you like sprinkle them like lightly and subtly through the episode, it's great. This episode,
So when you're shaking the salt shaker, but you took the top off, is bad.
The old joke.
All salt. Is
that's
bad.
like a mid-season Lower Decks episode. This one, but seriously, this one actually like there's stakes. There's a story. They do something kind
There's
of cool we've
Starfleeters
never
being
seen.
Starfleeters, like
Exactly.
and doing their jobs well. Hey, surprise! We want to watch them do their jobs well. That's literally why we all watch Star Trek.
Now, Darren, were you just like, you know, I don't know what you do when you get too excited to be a Darren, but like you almost got basically blueprints. Were you like writing when the hull was coming off the blueprints of the Cerritos now that you can see everything?
That's true. I can recreate my own model, and I think someone pointed out that because Rutherford had the idea about the hull plates, but we also saw him building the model where you actually put the hull plates on.
That's right. I just watched that episode. Yeah.
But it's Q Who is the other episode with Sonia Gomez.
That's right.
And I did look it up, and it's 16 years between Samaritan Snare and this episode. So I'm like, okay, that's enough time to become captain. You know, that wouldn't. I'd go with that.
So we should talk just real quickly because it's in my head now. She's captain of the Archimedes,
Right.
Yep.
which is it's kind of a refit version of the
Excelsior. Or
Excelsior
the Enterprise
class.
base.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's basically
much.
an Excelsior
Yeah.
with
A sovereign dish
nacelles.
and sovereign dish. It's got a round dish, but it looks beautiful. It
was cool.
I mean,
it was cool.
I get why the Excelsior class they kept around for so long.
I know it does look good. Yeah.
And I don't know if it's scaled up at all. Like it just bigger overall, but it looks really good. I like the Archimedes.
I would think even like an original Excelsior would be bigger than the Cerritos.
Yeah.
So
That is true. So maybe it's not scaled.
Those Cali ships, they make them small.
Yeah, that's true.
are
They
small,
do.
yeah.
It's
But
probably
a tractor
you know,
beam's a tractor beam. It doesn't matter how big you are.
That's right.
it's probably like slightly bigger than the the Constellation class.
You know, Ransom got his moment, you know, with flying the ship and like
The joystick.
everybody was the joystick, you know, and taking the bridge module out, like rather just look out through the front port. It's like that's not a bad idea. It's highly dangerous, but yeah, no, I loved the stakes and again, like with Lower Decks, like yeah, they're probably gonna pull it off, but I don't know. It might not work. You know?
They've killed people before. I mean, they brought them back, but they've killed people before.
Very worried. I was very worried they were going to do that again. I was like, please don't kill someone else off just to bring them back in season 3. And I was happy to learn that they did.
And I didn't get fully spoiled, but I did see a Free Freeman, you know, hashtag or something before watching it, and so I was thinking that was talking about Mariner, and I thought when she starts to. I thought it was like find Freeman or something like that. And so when she started drifting off into space, I'm like, oh, is it going to be like, let's find Mariner for the 3rd season? But obviously not. That was not the way they were going. But I didn't know what was going to happen.
Now, I wish I knew I wish they should have said what ship she was going to. Like, I mean, to me, that was the penny I was waiting for drop. Like, that doesn't have to be like the name, but maybe like what kind of ship. Like, she's like, finally got a Galaxy class or something.
I wonder
At that point, it'd be the old Galaxy class. Oh, those rust buckets.
You know, I've heard they just added the 3rd nacelle.
Yeah, hotels in space.
I wonder, like, I don't know. To me, too, like the last scene is kind of bizarre. Like, it kind of comes out of nowhere, and like it sets up, it tries to do a TNG season 3 thing, but the stakes are nowhere near at that high anymore at that point, and it's like, obviously this is just a mistake, so like it's the next episode is just gonna be like, oh, you're not guilty, of course. Obviously, we all know that. Like, there's no like actual stakes there. So to me, it's like, I wonder if they're going to do something interesting with a new captain for a little bit. I'm like, maybe they'll bring in a character that we know for an episode or something.
Jellicoe in a jar. Jellicoe in a jar.
It could be
Well, like,
Gomez. Her ship got kind of wrecked. So
I was watching, been watching, old, of course, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but I don't know if it's the second or third season where the captain of the precinct gets reassigned, but they stuck with that storyline for like, I don't know if that was the whole season, but like most of the season.
It was most of the season.
So I'm like, because you always watch those shows like, oh, they're going to fix it the next episode, but like, I don't know, it'd be interesting if maybe they stick with this for half a season or something, and for Lower Decks.
We need an alien. We need some obscure TAS alien to come in for 2 or 3 episodes. Well, but again, this was good Star Trek writing. Like, of course she's going to go with them. She's not going to fight her way out. It's like, trust the system. Like, and, we need them to be a trial, and it looks like the drumhead set, and like, because that's what we're gonna get. Like, we're gonna get all of the jokes on Star Trek trials. Maybe not Futurama level, sit in the beeping chair, type jokes, but we know. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have some trial scenes in the future.
Now, Darren, I know you enjoyed the crew farewell. Well, let's just keep this quiet.
The lineup. And she's walking out in handcuffs now. It's like the absolute worst. But was it when? Well, I mean, it's happened many times in Star Trek, but I think Worf, specifically,
redemption or whatever it is.
Yeah, when he resigns, when he dramatically puts down his comm badge and pips, throws them on the floor, and walks out. But it's and then what do you guys think about the curveball? Rutherford has some sort of repressed memory from his second implant. It's in some ways it's very been used many times. Cliche is the word I'm looking for. Yeah,
but I mean, it's intriguing. It's very like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or, like I said, anything. But like because I've always, that was the first question, I think, when I first the first episode. Why does he have a cyborg implant? Is that just a thing people have? Do we
think it's just
Section 31?
Yeah, is it Section 31 or is it some other?
I make it like the aliens from Schisms or something. Like, make it something odd. Don't make it Section 31.
No. Not the aliens from Schisms. How about from the last episode of season 1, the bug ones? Conspiracy.
Oh yeah,
conspiracy aliens.
See, that would be way better payoff than it's Section 31. Like, I'm, for me, we're all done with Section 31. But
no, my thing is actually make it not be anything nefarious. Be like, they're trying to do something good.
That's true. It sounds super nefarious, but it's like,
that's just the way we talk.
Yeah.
Or it could be the aliens from that Voyager episode where they're invisible and they're doing the
experiments.
Yeah, the experiments on the people. Yeah.
You mean from the Voy episode?
Yeah. Why do you say Voy?
It saves time. Come on.
Yeah. No. I think the
Tendi
last. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say now Tendi is the bridge science officer. So
yeah, that's right. She's getting more training, and that's a good question. Are they going to get promoted? Are we going to get some junior grade lieutenants? I don't know.
I feel like by season 3 we need to be making more Harry Kim jokes.
Yeah.
This is so the whole problem here I have is with Captain Freeman, because they kind of shame her for wanting to career in this episode.
That's true. I forgot about that part in the beginning where, and Mariner was way in the wrong, telling the senior crew out of spite.
Darren, you could call this show Mariner is way in the wrong. Fine. But my point is, like, Captain
Back it out of line.
If you're going to make one of her, like, goals, like, or one of her main driven points is that she wants to advance her career and get a different ship, then you have to let her go. Because keeping her back, what do? You keep her back a season? She's like, oh, at the end, I guess I do. All I want is the Cerritos. Well, yeah, now, maybe, I guess, but eventually you're still going to want to leave. You're not going to want to stay there forever. So you either need to not give that character that personality trait if you're not going to push her forward, or you just erase that completely. I don't know why. It's frustrating because it's like this whole season kind of built up to this idea that, she's really pushing for a promotion. She really wants a different ship. And then we get to it and she's like, nope, I'm good. Okay, I guess. But now what do we do next? What's the whole point of the character next season? I don't know.
Yeah, there's that. And there's also, like, that's part of being a lower decker is your command changes and you have no say about it. And you just got to roll with it. And we've never really explored that because episodic television Star Trek doesn't like doing that. But let's do it. Let's... and you could bring her back, after a while if you really want to, but, that would have, again, I love, Shax, but what if this whole season it had been, our other character and Rutherford has to learn how to interact with him, although no one was really under, Shax, like, so it was a little different, like, because technically Rutherford is under engineering, not security, but...
He's still a baby bear. Once you're a baby bear, you're always a baby bear.
That's true. Don't forget, fighting fascism is a full-time job.
That was a good scene. I will give credit to Discovery, because that's what they've done for the first 3 seasons, was they shifted who was in charge, the captain of the ship, and that is interesting. And I'm not saying Lower Decks has to do it, but and that's the same thing with Boimler. Like if your character's main focus is on their career and advancing it, and you want to maintain the status quo, those two things are in conflict. So you're gonna bump. It's gonna be tough to kind of adjust both of those things. So.
Well, and Wei Douge was also the one where we saw a lot of like references to off-duty pursuits. Because that was the one with the pottery and the art and all that.
Oh yeah, he wanted a bridge buddy.
Yeah, his bridge buddy. So yeah, that was. I mean, obviously, it's overshadowed kind of by the Klingon and Vulcan plots, not plots, but storylines.
Yeah.
Is it a Vulcan plot to start a war? Those are 2 questions, Darren.
I think it was. I mean. Seems like I'm giving them faint praise, but I mean, I like how they sort of landed the Pac-Led storyline. I didn't even know there was a Pac-Led storyline, really.
Right.
And then they're like, no.
It's kind of done. Yeah.
Oh. No, we meant it.
It's not done. And here's the thing. We've talked a few episodes ago about somebody's pulling the strings behind the Pac-Leds, and we now know who that was.
True.
We don't know who set off the bomb. We're not sure who actually if there was a bomb on the planet.
I mean, my vote is the Pac-Lids.
I hope they don't go that direction. I hope maybe there's a third party involved. It's the Romulans or whatever. Don't just make it because the Pac-Lids are dumb. Because you're already.
I mean, I did like how they tested their bomb. Like, we tested it before we used it again. It's like, no, it's a bomb. You use it once. You're like, okay, that's true. That's a fun level joke. Them blowing up their own planet is a whole nother level.
Yeah, they blew up an asteroid. They just shot it at an asteroid or whatever. But like, if they're causing a major issue, then yeah, it's going to be weird. But,
are there going to be Pac-Lid refugees now? Are we going to need to resettle them?
Where's Admiral Picard?
Yeah. Who's going to take them in? Yeah. Watch they all end up on like Bolia or something.
Well, I'm trying to think of the timeline. They could be like, you know what? I think we should just give them to the Romulans. I mean, it's the most stable system there is.
Double evacuation probation. Evacuation probation. There's the name of the story. That's true. Yeah. So it's like they evacuate everybody to Romulus.
Then why are there no Pac-Lids in the Jat Vash?
That you know of.
No, Daniel. My brain cannot handle that image.
Robots
Swords are
are
sharp.
evil.
Because they all went insane watching the animation. That's why.
They wouldn't even. It wouldn't even. I'm not going to go there. Never mind.
I know.
Well,
We all are now picturing a Picard episode with cartoon Pac-Lads
and obviously it was good. I had to watch the second episode. I had to watch the last episode a second time because I did not recognize Sonia Gomez the first time, and I will attribute that to it's an animated show, so like obviously they're trying to make her look similar, but I missed that completely. So obviously watching a second time, you know, when the ensign trips and she's like, "Oh, I've done far worse in front of far greater captains." It's like, "Oh, I get that now." I was just enjoying, you know, the new ship and also I think wasn't it the finale of season 1 where we see a captain on a new ship and they're like doing the keeping the screen protector joke on, and that ship gets blown to smithereens in like the first 10 seconds of the episode. So if we're following precedents, like, yeah, Daniel, you were totally justified to being worried that the Archimedes was going to get destroyed in this episode. Like it could happen.
And I mean, it was such a little thing, and they didn't have to do this. But I like how they showed that that crew was still doing something. Like you would think, like, oh, they're in peril,
Right.
just leave them floating, and we're gonna the Cerritos. But like, they're still trying to get something done, and they're still being Starfleet officers. And they don't have to show that because I mean, that doesn't do anything necessarily to the story, other than add some depth to their character.
Yeah, but I like that too. Again, every time this show leans towards Starfleeters doing their jobs well, like that's Star Trek. That's literally the main point of Star Trek is these people are very competent. And you know, when we swing too much the other direction on the pendulum, where it's like now we have silly jokes and we fell down a lot of times, and you know, it's like
Those
really?
two Magado are
This
doing it.
this fine crew, this fine ship, like really? Okay, sure. But that's just me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and so besides these two episodes, what have been sort of the standout moments or episodes from season 2? I've been watching a few this morning, and you know, I've been enjoying it. There's no episode that I'm like, ugh, not this one again. You know, got some Tom Paris. Had our introduction of Kayshawn and the episode of Easter eggs. And even the Mugatu one the second time around wasn't that bad because, you know, it sort of had its moments. Dupler ones and Spy Humongous with the Pac-Lads again. And then I was just about to watch Where Pleasant Fountains Lie for the Billups and his mom. And Fantasyland.
Oh, there was oh God, I'm not going to remember. It's in one of these two episodes because I just watched it. But he says something like it's like an exclamation, and he's like, "Oh my unicorn," or something like that.
Yeah, like my dragon's breath. Or,
That's what it was. Yeah. Dragon's breath or something. I'm like, I had to jog my own memory and be like, oh, that's right. He's from a stupid fantasy planet. And I'm like, that's good. That's fun. So, you know, here's this, season 2 for me was, I would say pretty good. I think the baseline is pretty decent for me for Lower Decks. Like even the kind of meh episodes are still, I don't know, at least half funny.
Yeah.
So I think it's good enough for me to like, and again, they're short episodes, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
I like
for
when
binging.
good for binging. I like when there's an actual story or some stakes or character development that's going on at some point. It's not just kind of blah, blah, blah reference, blah, blah, blah reference. You know, here's a list of captains, blah, blah, blah. Like I like when it's built into like the actual plot elements that are happening, which is the same as season 1. But I think overall it's probably a better season than season 1 was. And of course, the last 2 episodes that we talked about today, I think were really solid. So that helps put a better overall sheen on season 2. I do. There were some mistakes that they didn't fix from season 1 to season 2. Of course, focusing on Mariner all the time, and she's just whatever that's going on with her. I just wish they could move past that, and I hope that Captain Freeman gets her new ship, and she doesn't have to feel bad and shamed by all of her crew for doing it. It's interesting that we learn that you don't get to pick your crew, although
that feels very like that
Made
helps
up.
this story. But yeah,
But we learn in Encounter at Farpoint that Picard got to handpick his crew. Of course, that was the flagship. Maybe he gets special rules.
Well, they sort of retconned it because in Encounter, they sort of like are posing that he doesn't even know anything about Will, which I don't know. That's not a weird scene in a bad way, but it's sort of like meeting him for the first time. But then you learn, like, I think it's Pegasus, that episode where he reveals that he
maybe you should have read
Will.
that dossier a little deeper, Picard.
No. It isn't a big retcon because even in Encounter, he specifically tells Will, he says, the reason I picked you was because you told your captain he can't go down to the and they just kind of expound on that in Pegasus.
Right.
But it is mentioned in Encounter. He's like, you specifically said your captain can't go down to the planet because it's too dangerous. Do you stand by that? And Will says, yes, I do. So it is pretty explicit there, I think, in Encounter that he did pick him. And he did pick everybody else, too, as well, I think. So, but not Freeman. She doesn't get to tell, pick Ransom or Shax or, I don't know.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, I felt overall this season, like looking back on it, like every one of these episodes has like a great part or moment. You know, it's so interesting watching it or looking back at it versus week to week as it's coming up and we're like, oh, what's this going to be? Is it going to be good? Is it going to not? But yeah, no, I felt like season 2 was a great season. You know, overall we got lots of development. And again, I don't know, I feel like in the spirit of everything, the little quibbles about like too much time with Mariner or, you know, oh, the pairings don't shift as much as we'd like. Like they really feel like almost insequential as much because of in the grand scheme of what we did get for season 2, we got a lot. Like we got a lot of really good stories and I really like this season.
Well, it's funny because
I need to join you in a binge rewatch, Philip.
Yeah, well, it's funny because watching it as a binge, it's funny because you kind of like again pretend like they're hearing us because you get the episode where Tindy picks Beckett to go with her on the pick up her cat scratch mission. Like we're never together. I feel like we're an unusual pairing, and then the episode right after that, Tindy, unknown to everyone, picks everyone to be on the anomaly collection duty. So it's almost like they're saying, all right, we've done our traditional pairings. All right, this time we're going to mix it up. Next episode, we're going to one big adventure.
We are going to do other pairings because it's obvious, like that. It's not too much, but just
a little formulaic, I guess. Yeah. So that was funny. Well, what's gosh, I was trying to remember Tindy's name, Mistress of the Midnight something. I don't know. This is actually super uncomfortable for me.
Oh, yeah, well, we go to
Orion. The colony. So, yeah. No, but yeah, I mean, like I said, Lower Decks is I was going to say guilty pleasure. That's a wrong way to say it, but you're always going to get something good, and obviously you get the appreciation and the love of the franchise. But I don't know if it'd be a straight graph, but or ascending line graph. But I think season 2, not that Strange Energies was a bad episode, but it was it was okay. But I think it sort of didn't necessarily start with its best episode. Not that I'm saying it's a bad one, but I think it sort of just ramped up until the last 2 episodes we talked about were kind of probably the best of the season.
I'd say so. Mm-hmm. A very strong finish. And that was season 1 as well. Had a very strong finish.
But yeah. So you'll
got
always...
Citation. I mean, they gave us Citation.
Citation. Yeah.
Let's just give them a win. It doesn't matter what
automatic win.
What else? Yeah.
Not only did they do Citation Ops, but they did it very well and with a nice, cute, funny twist. So it was good. It was good. And Boimler got to be the hero as well, too. So.
I mean, I like that they got to build the culture that, in some ways they don't know what's going on, really. I mean, it's like they're the lower decks of Citation Ops as well.
Yeah. Like, they have screens, but they're just there.
Yeah. Well, you didn't know Beckett's mom was the captain?
Yeah, pay attention. Known that for a while. When I liked, the Maglock releases for the panels, like Star Trek First Contact, those are the references. Like that's just playing in the universe, and that's just that they've done their homework. I wouldn't even call it a reference. It's just knowing what to show. Yeah, because that could have been any sort of mechanism, but the fact that it was pretty much the interface from First Contact was perfect.
And that's a great point to bring up too, because in that final episode, when they do that whole thing, like it kind of feels just because the short
ridiculous.
Yeah, well, it does. If the setup is very quick and it feels very convenient and whatever, but like the payoff, which is to see the ship without all of its stuff, and it's like. That's cool, and that is something we could not have seen in another Star Trek previous to this because it would have been too expensive. It would have been, there's no way to do that.
So you had to do it CGI, so that means like Voyager or later. Yeah. And yeah, that's true.
So I thought it was a really cool, and it was a Star Trek-y thing. It's we have to get rid of all of our hull plating in order to get through this thing, and that was a really neat sort of.
I could occasionally like, why don't we just warp to the other side of the system? And they all look like, are you crazy? That's not the story won't allow that. You can't do that. Now I'm just picturing Picard being like, okay. So crew, we got to take all the panels off of this ship that is like 8 times bigger than a California class. It's going to take about a week. Okay.
Separate the saucer.
Well, that's true. That it did actually. Now thinking about it, it had booby trap vibes where Picard was steering it and had to do it with minimal thrusters and just great finale.
I mean, they built up the tension just because one panel was still. I mean, it's a ridiculous thing, but it's. But
they had established the rules. The rules are if you have panels, it's going to be bad, and there's a time element, and it's like it's just good storytelling.
Yeah, and everybody was working together towards the goal. So it was. Yeah, we were rooting for them. We wanted them to succeed.
Stupid Jennifer.
Yeah, there was such a random thing. Like that's one of those things. Like. Introduced her a couple episodes ago. Maybe they didn't. I didn't remember. But it was
she's been around a little bit.
Okay, all right, that's fine. But it was just like it was random, but it was sweet. Even at the end of that episode, it was like, oh, look, they're friends, and like, well, why we don't need to not like each other. We're real nice to each other now. And I was like, what a happy ending. What a great ending. So,
well, like binging it like I did, because I can't remember the name. Like you get Jennifer at the beginning, because she comes in during the first episode. She's in the first episode because when she interrupts Beckett's holodeck program because it's like the captain wants to see you. Like, oh, Jen. And then I forget the guy's name, but your generic ensign at the helm. He's in the Red Shirts Club. So like when I got to the Red Shirts Club is him, Jen, and then the CIS guy.
They actually pay off rather than just random people. We have seen them around. We just haven't paid attention to them. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Well done, Lower Decks.
Yes. Using your background characters.
Yep.
Bravo.
Yes. Because it makes me think of like TNG when you see the same, there was like the one young black woman that was the ensign, and Lieutenant J, and like we know kind of what these people look like. We don't know their names, we don't know anything. Like I've been watching Voyager, and there's a young Asian woman who's in gold, and I've seen her in she's is the person who just walks in front of the that security ops section. Yeah, she's sort of the extra that does that.
She's always
in 4 episodes,
off just off screen. So when Tom stands up, she sits into the chair. There's always someone right there.
Mm-hmm.
I want okay. This is predictions for season 3. No, I'm just saying. I would love this. I would love this in season 3. They're at on the deck or on the bridge, and Boimler's there, in his seat, and they're like, okay, Boimler, Billups, head on out. And they're like, okay, Captain, and they all just kind of sit there, and then, or they type something into a console, and they just sit there for 20 seconds, and then the doors open and their reliefs come in, and then they that's how it would actually happen. You'd have to summon your relief. That's not just in the wings, ready to go.
Waiting to go on.
I think that would be hilarious. Like, and maybe they have to state it out loud. Maybe they don't, where they're like, what are you doing? Like I said, go. It's like, yeah, but my relief's not standing right there in the corner in the relief corner. I got to wait for them. And they're like, okay.
I don't know. I wonder how it works. Like, I guess like in a real life.
Well, that maybe that should be like one of their lower deck duties. Like, I got stand in the corner duty.
I think they did mention that in the episode, in the pod episode where the upper decks had the lower decks duty. One of them said like, it was great. I just stood in the back of a banquet hall like all day or something like that. That's true. That would be funny though. That one of them gets like relief station position and they're like, I didn't even know this corner was over here. Oh yeah, just stand right there.
And it's like you can see there's a corner they can actually hide behind.
Yeah,
you can actually get around. No one can see you.
Like is this
I don't think there's one. I don't think
bridge nook.
Even better, do it like Unification 2. It's a fake holographic wall. And you're literally standing in a little pocket alcove, and you just literally walk out when it's.
Well,
time.
I don't think there's one on the Cerritos bridge, but you could think of like the Voyager bridge where Tuvok and Kim are. Like that's a whole wraparound desk situation. You could easily take a nap right in there.
You just kick the person below you. Yeah. That's funny.
Come on. I gotta go.
The Enterprise D bridge had those forward 2 turbolifts that always opened up, and then someone would walk in and sit down like in 2 seconds. It's like, okay. So is there like deck 2, like a pool, like an office pool of ready to step in? And then
no, you know what it is.
They have like a lift chute.
The green room.
Here's what it is. Here's what it is. You, if you're a lower decks person, are assigned that duty. You're on call, and if somebody hits the button,
you immediately beam into the bridge.
You get beamed into the.
They're like little transporter pads right on the you can't see it right there.
No, but even better, it's like Boimler's getting beamed over, but he's literally in the bar, like scooping mashed potatoes.
No,
and it's like, and his combat goes like beep beep beep, and that's all he gets is a beep beep beep. He's
You're
like,
on call.
And then so he's now on the bridge, standing with his tray, and he just chucks it in the corner, and he's like, "Yes, Captain, ready to serve." Okay, now I need a whole bit about this because
I was going to say, if we see this in next season Lower Decks, we know for sure.
We'll know. Yeah.
Okay, Philip, get to the Twitters. We need to.
See, I was almost thinking
plant the
like it's a secret bookcase situation where you just report over there on deck 1, and then you go zoop, flip over to the bridge.
Oh yeah, like there's a big green room behind one of the walls. Around
the shadow crew, yeah.
I mean, I think that works, but I also like the emergency beam.
Yes. Never know when. You're on call.
Well, that's the thing. The joke is like the fact that all of a sudden Picard will be like on a whim, like, hey, so and so and so and so, go on that mission. And then there's somebody there, like half a second later, just steps into frame and sits in their position. Which is ironic because when you actually think about it on the bridge, like, you're kind of just sitting for hours, just
most of the time.
There's not a lot to do. So the fact that they have to restaff that ops position in like 2 seconds flat, per OSHA guidelines or something, like, or the Teamsters Union, they're like, hey, you always got to have someone here. But okay, I need an episode of that now. That'd be hilarious. And it's just Boimler in more and more ridiculous situations getting emergency beamed into the bridge. And he has zero context. Like maybe they're under fire. And he's like, why did you leave your post at this moment?
Well, I can see maybe it's his first time getting duty, and Beckett's like, you're on call. They never call you. Nothing ever happens. I just always do whatever I want to do when I'm on call. It's the easiest duty there is.
Yeah. That's on-call duty.
You would think it would be 99.99%.
And so
but you would want to kind of stay generally abreast of what's going
right, but sometimes, but seriously, but if you've been on call for 6 months,
it's a Cali class ship. Come on, nothing happens.
Nothing's ever happened. Then you're like, oh, I'll just pop into the holodeck, or I'll grab a beer, or whatever.
I'll be flipping pancakes, whatever.
So
I mean,
like,
that's the overall joke of Lower Decks is the fact that they don't know what's going on. I mean, I want more. We're in the holodeck doing our thing, and it's like, report to the bridge.
You mean the ballroom dancing got canceled?
Yeah, but it's like you hear, oh, that was funny. They're like, but yeah, it's like, so-and-so report at the bridge. They get there and they're like a Vulcan ambassador delegation. It's like, what? I didn't know that was going on today. Like, it's just,
think about Generations, right? When they're all doing their promotion ceremony for Worf, and then they all leave.
The acting captain's in charge. The guy that they're like, you're acting captain.
But they come onto the bridge all wearing these ridiculous costumes, and it's like
the guy that has to take the sword and hat.
Okay, so that needs
what do I do with this?
Where they're all there in their, and I'd say go for broke. They're all in the ship uniforms. Like,
yes,
it needs to be full on Generations, and it's like the president of the Federation or something is on the screen, and they're like, "Oh, I see, I've caught you at a holodeck moment. Like, I could call back in 10 if you need, but points out the fact that like it is ridiculous when they show up in there. Like, I get the point that it's drawing stakes of, we need to go to the bridge now, but it's like, dear God, replicate some trousers or something.
Of course, not to go too far astern, you did bring up 2 T-shirts we did see Boimler doing a Go Climb a Rock from Star Trek V. When he was doing his...
Yes.
And then we got the Ritos T-shirt. With Captain Freeman.
We have Disco and Ritos. It's a thing now.
Yes. Enter, I think, is that... We'll agree that was the Enterprise.
I was going to say, I almost feel like Enterprise should have done that versus the ball caps. I don't know. I personally don't feel the ball caps ever worked, but I think a undershirt that said prize...
I mean, it'd be an XO1, but yeah.
To me, this is like what we talked about a little bit earlier, where it's subtlety versus like overhanded joke. Like the Go Climb a Rock thing is fine, but it's a blatant.
It's a low hanging fruit.
It is. It's a very easy reference. The Ritos shirt is awesome because it's like taking the piss out of Discovery, which is awesome, and like it's Star Trek making fun of itself in a natural, fun way, and I really loved it. Almost enough to buy one of those shirts. Honestly.
I know. I would. I mean, since I'm about to move, I would. But like, I'm very tempted to get a Ritos shirt. That was.
I think it's great. I think it's really because remember, like, when that first came out, when they were wearing those disco shirts, it was kind of a thing in Star Trek fandom. Like we had discussions about it, and it's like, well, wouldn't it just say
a lot of
Discovery
people wore them at the
it?
cons?
Like,
because it was like
it's like,
and then and I think we still have a discussion. Then you have to go through every ship name and figure out what would be on the T-shirt, like Excelsior. How do you cut that down?
Now I'm just picturing
Excel?
the scene from Wolf 359 where it's like the Kyushu. Okay, that would be... It's like the Melbourne. Okay, that would be...
Melb? That doesn't do anything.
Yeah. There's
You're only working for 5 letters.
The Yamato, is it the Yam?
Well, the motto? Neither one really works.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's only so many... It's not... It doesn't work across the board.
No. Defiant? What would you do?
Defiant? Defiant? That's the thing.
Defia.
If the word is too short, it really doesn't work.
Would the Voyager just be Voy? Like
it'd be Voy.
We've just talked about?
It's just shorter. Yeah.
But it's not even...
It's streamlined, Daniel. You got to admit it. It's so easy to say.
Well, you just have a plate. You don't have to wear a shirt, so... That's fair. Cool. All right. Well, we've been kind of roving here, but it's been a good discussion about Lower Decks Season 2. As we said, we'll be opening up a new chapter and welcoming our first new show in a little bit. We haven't had a new show. I mean, we have had new episodes.
These old rerun shows again.
I know. Discovery, Picard, Lower Decks.
Season 4?
More like boring.
That's so long in the tooth now.
We will be welcoming Star Trek Prodigy, so we look forward to a whole new universe. And then, of course, on its heels will be Star Trek Discovery Season 4. So, yep, lots more new Star Trek coming.
In the future, that New Horizon eventually
Yeah, Strange New Worlds.
Will be strange.
Well, do we get? I think we get Picard first, right?
Maybe.
I don't know, but I would wager that we do. I would, because I mean, obviously, I feel like I've heard more Picard production first.
I've heard
before I
more Picard.
We've seen a trailer
ending.
for Picard.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah, and I think they just wrapped. But I say just, like in the past 3 weeks, I think they just wrapped Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
Now they would have to do post production.
Strange New Worlds wrapped after Picard wrapped, so that would lead to believe that Picard is coming out first.
So,
It does, looking forward. I am slightly excited for Prodigy. I kind of have lower expectations just because it's a kid show. It's an animated show. But I think honestly, it looks kind of fun, and I think it'll be interesting to see, and it'll be cool to see Janeway. Even if she's in holographic form again. So and the
all this
animation-
Janeway praise from Daniel. What is going on? Are you Mayor Daniel?
I like Janeway.
Oh, and I guess because it's topical, we totally forgot to mention that William Shatner went into space since the last time we recorded.
Yeah, and he came back.
I was going to say, unfortunately, he didn't stay, but nah, we kid.
Oldest man in space.
I do like
oldest person.
But he did seem to have an overlook moment and be touched by that, which I think is awesome. And I think
and to be fair, a 90, and he's 90, man.
he's 90. He's the oldest person to go into space now.
He's
yeah. Eat it, John Glenn.
and he's sharp.
I mean, wow. It's John Glenn. Show a little respect there.
He's no William Shatner now, is he?
The guy's still sharp as a tack. He good for him. We'll say good for you, William Shatner. It's good to see you up and spry and about, and cool. That's awesome. Yeah. So.
Go space.
Go climb a space.
Go climb a
No,
space.
that's not a thing. No,
That's an episode title. We're already written it down. All right. Well, Daniel, folks want to talk to you about your season 3 wish list for Lower Decks. Where can they find you?
Well, they can find me on Twitter at @OneUpDan. That's the number one, not the word, as in the number one thing I want to see in season 3 of Lower Decks. No more Mariner drama.
Oh, well, that's not going to happen.
Good luck with that.
And Darren, if folks want to contact you about what other ensign from TNG we should see as a captain on Lower Decks, where can they reach you?
Ooh, that would be fun. Captain Crusher, maybe. Find a way to bring him back. They can find me on my website, which is drsci-fi.com, DRSCIFI, or listen to me here on other shows around the network. What about you, Philip? If someone wanted to find your cetacean ops position.
I really don't know anything going on being in Cetacean Ops, but they can tweet at me what's going on at NC Public Servant. And by the way, you brought it up, Darren. This is the easiest casting. I mean, just 100% he'd do it. Have Will Wheaton come back as Ball of Light Crusher. I mean, come on. Like, it doesn't even have to be like a whole episode, like, a 30-second bit about Ball of Light, Wesley.
It could be interesting because one of the characters in Prodigy is a Medusan, which is that kind of like alien
from TOS?
Ball of Light alien. So they could go that route if they wanted to.
I also wonder, too, it's interesting to me, oh God, not to get off on a tangent, we're closing.
Go ahead.
But just real quickly, who they choose to have on like something like Lower Decks. I don't know, maybe, I don't think necessarily there is some big, Will Wheaton, Wesley Crusher comeback that's planned, but I wonder if they keep that sort of stuff open because maybe there's an idea floating around that maybe we'll do something with the character. And we don't want it to be on Lower Decks random throwaway episode. So I don't know, maybe they'll do something. But we'll see.
We just threw Tom away. We don't care about.
Yeah, I know what to say.
What they did with Tom was not really. They didn't change the character anyway. He's still alive and in the Delta or the Alpha Quadrant at this point.
He's still in the Delta Quadrant. Oh my goodness!
I'm just saying, if you introduce Crusher, Wesley Crusher, you would have to address what happened to him and how he is now. But
Ball of Light.
You'd have to change something. That's all I'm saying.
We need the Council of the Balls of Light, where they're like all floating there. And,
That would be awesome.
That would be good.
and we just find all different like
Lights of Zetar.
Yeah.
Q.
Remind me of
the child.
the scene in season 1 when that guy was trying to ascend and 10D was
Oh
like,
yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, we got the reference to that with Boimler. Like,
That's
I saw
true.
a koala, and Tindy's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, what does a koala mean? That's true. We did get that. Well, it just means we need to rewatch Lower Decks again because it's amazing.
That's right. Well, until next week and new Star Trek, I'm Philip Gilfus,
I'm Daniel Prue.
And I'm Darren Moser.
stranded here on City Alpha 3.